Yeah, this is 41 years in pro hockey and my 31st year in a TV booth at the NHL level, and I'm still as anxious and excited as I've ever been. And I remember year number one and the build-up for that here. That was one of the greatest moments in my career, and each one has felt the same way. I just think it's the team, the fans, the atmosphere. I'm glad we're opening at home, but yes, very, very excited, and that never changes.
When you look at this team, and you've called them all last season, you've been able to be analytical about it, where do you think they'll improve the most?
I'm hoping it's defensively. I really want to see under Lane Lambert how they play. Now, I think they will be challenged to score, to be fair, and get that out there for the fans. I think, again, they're a sum of their parts type team, offensively, in goal. But defensively, as a five-man group, I thought they were disconnected by and large for the entire season last year, and I started to see it in preseason. And we talked about it quite a bit on the air and tried to point that out. But I think Lane's mission here is to get a team game in place where they have the ability to grind, they have the ability to be in games, they have the ability to make the saves mean something. And that tightness defensively will lead to goals, believe it or not. I see the team very similar. Now, how much of a difference will it make? It could make a big difference because I think the guys last year, to be frank, were confused. So I believe that now with this new way of playing, which could take a little bit of time, I think the players will adapt because it's still a veteran group. There's still a lot of guys left from year number one. So yes, there are younger players that are cutting their teeth now, but they still have a nucleus of veteran players that know how to play. They just have to be guided so that they can trust each other, and I think that's going to be the biggest difference.
How about as far as the Berkeley Cat and some of the young players on this team? Still a lot of learning to do, but boy, a lot of potential.
Well, it's taken this long, and everybody was saying that at the beginning of the franchise, that there was a plan in place to draft and develop, and Ron wanted to make sure that that happened, and he did, and he drafted not only first rounders that look like they can play and make a strong contribution moving forward, but second and third rounders like we see with Yanni Newman now, breaking in, making the opening night roster and showing us last season in his call-ups. The offensive spark and the power game and the shot he has, that's all NHL level. He's just going to have to go through a learning curve of defensive hockey and being forced to play against great players every game. And Ryan Winterton, who was a third-round draft choice, who has hustled his way, if you will, onto the team. And they might use him, until Kakko gets back into a penalty-killing situation, role player type thing. But this is good for the team. And then you get to Berkeley, he's 19. He will get his chance to play. They have 9 games to figure all this out. I think they're just a little bit apprehensive about, his size. He has skating ability, has separation speed, has a really good shot, but is he able consistently to get in there at the NHL level and make it all work? That's going to be the key for him.
All right, you get to call the action again. What's it like working with Eddie? Because it feels like you two, when you get a chance to get in that booth together, you just never know what's going to happen.
And so look at this. Who let the dogs out?
We're great friends. I think we're brothers. We absolutely love each other. And what you see is what you get. And JT kind of is the younger version. I always tell him, you'll be a great old guy someday, and I believe he will. But as of right now, he's in today's generation, and he just shakes his head at us. But, if we were to have dinner together, you'd see the same thing. The arguing, the difference of opinion, the back and forth. But Eddie is at the top in terms of what he does.
Yeah, as a sports fan, I love the fact that you guys, especially Eddie, is opinionated, because we see it in the game. We're like, man, and then he jumps in right away and says the same thing that I think a lot of sports fans and hockey fans are thinking.
And that's what you want when you watch at home, and you want to be excited, and when you're being real about what you're seeing, which he is, then when the praise comes, it registers, with the fans. But I really enjoy that part of him. It's when you're on a team broadcast and you're regional and you're doing the team thing, that's not always an easy thing to do, and we both have been throughout our career situations where objectivity can be your demise if you let it be. But you have to be professional, not disparaging, and know how to do it to make it work, because we have to earn the trust of our fans. That's the bottom line. I've said that from the day I took the job. I hope that is the case. That's what we have to do.